Alright, so I just got a call for some subcontracting work to design a hood scoop for a die-cast machine. Now I planned on buying my 3D design software, another video, and like showing you all the ins and outs of it, but life happens, so I guess that's going to be today. Turns out there was a mishaps with my ride, so they're just going to send me some photos of what they need, and then we're going to buy design software. I'm going to show you how to make blueprints and send them out for metal fabrication. But first, I'm starving, so I'm going to make food. My ride's not coming, so let's talk 3D design softwares. They're just going to send me some photos of what they need done. But first, turn this off so I don't get copyright striked on YouTube. I've been doing 3D design for 10 years, 8 years professionally, and quit. Come here. Alright, so I've been doing 3D design for 10 years 8 years professionally, 10 years total. And that entire time I worked inside of SolidWorks, which is a very good software. Now back then, when I started, there was pretty much only two major competitors in the field, SolidWorks and Autodesk. Now, there's a few things that I really look for when I buy any software. It doesn't matter if it's a video editing software or 3D design software, if I'm building a website, and that is how many people use it. That's a big indicator of how easy it will be to learn if you're starting out brand new, and the amount of support that it will have, because the more users, the more bigger the company will be usually, which means they'll have more support staff, which they'll be able to help you quicker. And on top of that, the more users, the more tutorials there usually is on YouTube. The second thing I take into consideration is how much of it am I going to use? You know, there's softwares out there that are $100,000. Say what? If you want to spend that much money. Cadia is a big example of that. Ford and GM and Toyota use it, on top of a lot of Formula One companies also use it. It's the flagship software for Dassault Systems, which owns SolidWorks. Now, I don't need that massive of a system. There's a lot of good free softwares. For me personally, I'm going to be going with Fusion 360, and the reason for this is a couple twofold. And if you don't know anything about 3D design software, this first part won't make much sense to you, but SolidWorks tree-based configurations always bugged the hell out of me when I would make multiple assemblies, or if directories would change, it would lose parts and just constantly be a hassle to do complex assemblies and have them all working interconnected, especially if you try to like do it over the internet or through cloud. It becomes a nightmare. Now Fusion 360 on the other hand is a brand new software from Autodesk, and it's cloud-based, which means that the part directories and all the interchangeable assemblies should be very well used. On top of that, it's a CAM software, which I'm going to be needing for my shop out in the garage when I finally get a CNC machine. And it's Autodesk, and I know Autodesk for like 15 years. They're a great company. They have Inventor and Maya and Mudbox and all kinds of other softwares that they do. They're a very good 3D design company. The next thing to consider is price. Again, I can afford to pay a little bit more for a software, and Fusion 360 is subscription based, which is nice because most CAD softwares traditionally are annually based. You have to pay like $1,000 or more per year on top of paying support on top of that every year. It can get very expensive, which, you know, $50 sounds like a lot for a software a month. Trust me, it's not. SolidWorks, it can get very expensive, even for, you know, the lower end professional suits. And I don't know why SolidWorks hasn't came out with a cloud-based or subscription-based software yet. They need to. Okay, so today we're going to buy a 3D design software, design 2 parts, get the prints made for the parts, and then send them out to a metal fab company for fabrication. Alright, after more confusion, it looks like I have to go pick up the blueprint, so off we go. Alright, so got the drawing, now we have to make a blueprint. Or first we gotta make the model, then the blueprints. Alright, now that those are done, I have to check out my drone that I crashed 2 weeks ago when I was trying to get some aerial shots at our green sand foundry. And hopefully it'll be ready to go for tomorrow morning, which I'm going to be riding with our maintenance guy who's going to be installing these hood scoops on top of the die cast over at D1 Mold and Tool.